Whether you're studying for a test, trying to learn a language, or just hoping to retain what you learned in your college classes, remembering what you study can be a challenge. While your brain is surprisingly good at holding on to things you've learned for long periods of time, that information is not always easy to get at when you need it. Putting facts to memory by brute force will not make you gain the most important result from studying, which is comprehension. Use a few memory tricks to boost your recall. Make your brain more receptive to absorbing new information by taking care of your mind and body and working in a good environment. So in today's video, we will be looking at advanced ways to remember what you study. But before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and click on the notification button. Number 8. Always drink water. We know we should drink water because it's good for us. On the other hand, drinking water during study helps in improving concentration. Our brains are the first to feel the effects of dehydration, and it shows by a loss of concentration. Staying properly hydrated enables the brain to stay alert, so we can keep our attention, focus, and the ability to remember. When you fail to drink water, your brain has to work harder than usual. Drinking water can actually make us smarter. According to one study, students who took water with them to an examination room performed better than those who didn't. By drinking water and staying hydrated, you're providing your brain with what it needs to continually perform at its best. Not only will you feel better physically, but you'll be mentally strong and ready to tackle the day ahead. Number 7. Exercise. Exercise has been found to stimulate the production of a protein called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which preps the brain for optimum learning and creative thinking. You are likelier to form creative connections between ideas, and thus, retaining this better. Cardio, yoga, and other forms of exercise carries a host of physical benefits. If your thoughts are not clear, try taking a brisk walk or head to the gym. One study found that memory and reasoning processing improved after a single 15-minute exercise session. Number 6. Study and sleep. Our brain absorbs information best right before sleep. Research has shown that those who study before sleeping or napping have higher memory recall. When you stay up too late trying to cram beforehand an exam, surely your hard work will be rewarded, even if you're exhausted the next day, but the truth is that it isn't the most efficient way for our brains to process information. It seems that getting some shut-eye is an important element in strengthening how our brains remember something. Deep sleep can strengthen memories if the sleep occurs within 12 hours of learning the new information. Number 5. Reading on paper. 94% of university students polled said they preferred studying using paper as it was easier to focus and the freedom to highlight, annotate, and write on the margins. And unlike computer screens, reading on paper also helps with spatial memory. You can recall a certain bit of information by where it was placed on a book. On top of these, paper removes one of the top factors for students losing focus: distraction. Without the internet, there won't be an infinite number of websites tempting our eyes away from much-needed study time and breaking our focus, which is crucial to retaining memory. Number 4. Teach others. This is one sure way of retaining what you read. Explain concepts in the simplest terms possible to anyone who would listen, a fellow classmate or roommate. By teaching someone else, you are forced to summarize, condense, draw conclusions, promoting a deeper personal understanding. This is great for university study, which focuses on analysis, as compared to pre-university, which are usually more fact-driven. Number 3. Break down materials. It's easier to process and remember information if you break it up into smaller pieces. Instead of trying to memorize an entire chapter of your textbook, focus on one short section or key piece of information at a time. For example, if you're trying to remember vocabulary for a language class, don't try to memorize more than 7 to 8 words at a time. If you're studying from a textbook, it can be helpful to work with the structure of the book. Textbook chapters are usually divided into shorter sections that each provide a manageable amount of information. Focus on understanding and remembering one section before moving on to the next. Number 2. Switch between different topics. It can be helpful to alternate between studying different subjects so that your brain compartmentalizes the information more effectively. Switching between topics that are very different from each other can help keep your brain from getting bogged down with trying to remember too much about one subject or two very similar subjects at once. Additionally, switching between topics will help you avoid getting burned out on any one topic. For example, memorize a poem, then move on to studying some algebra rules. Number 1. Take notes. As you're listening in class or reading your text, write down important pieces of information. Don't write down every word you hear or read. Instead, summarize key concepts. This will force your brain to process the information and condense it to its most important elements. If you can, take notes with a pen and paper. Writing notes by hand engages your brain in a different way than typing on a keyboard and makes you take a little more time to think about what you are writing down. If you like to doodle while you take notes, that's great. Doodling can help you pay attention and retain information. So, if you liked our video, please do well to subscribe to our channel and click on the notification button.